I'm Rick Beato, and today's Everything Music. It's Film Scoring 101, deconstructing the James Bond theme. Coming up next. The James Bond theme was composed by Monty Norman for the 1962 release of Dr. No, starring Sean Connery. John Barry was brought in at a certain point when it was obvious that Monty could not complete the film, and went on to score this film and then 11 more James Bond movies. As a matter of fact, there's been a dispute as to the authorship of this, having two lawsuits dealing with it, which Monty actually won, but John Barry famously said, if Monty actually wrote it, why didn't they bring him back to write any more? So let's check out the beginning and see what's going on. The piece famously begins with a modal chord progression based in E minor. It goes like this. So it starts with E minor, then E minor with a flat 6, or you could call it C major over E, going to E minor with a natural 6, back to flat 6, back to E minor. So it's kind of like E minor, and then you have the Aeolian sound to Dorian to Aeolian, back to E minor. And then the guitar theme enters. Let's check it out. One thing about this theme that's really interesting is that it's actually a guitar feature with a big band, which is really unusual for the time. The guitar was played by guitarist Vic Flick, who was a friend of John Barry's. So once again, lending credibility to the fact that it was actually John who wrote the theme. There are many different versions of this theme. In fact, there's other orchestrations that John Barry did, like this one with full orchestra. The orchestration we're going to be discussing today is mainly a big band, and it features instruments like vibes, which were typical for that period of time with people like Lionel Hampton and Victor Feldman, and it has a guitar feature. Right here at the opening, you can hear the vibes, you can hear the bass trombone doing the stabs. It sounds like there might be strings in here, but I don't really hear strings anywhere else in the entire arrangement. It's probably because of the recording when it was made, but it sounds like it's basically a big band here. To me, the soundtrack has almost a film noir quality to it because of the kind of chords that are used. Minor 6 chords, minor 6-9, minor major 7 or minor major 9, like the final chord in the opening theme here. And the film noir period really lasted from 1944 to 1954. So you have Orson Welles, Billy Wilder, directors like that. But the sound of this has that darkness to it. Next we have our main theme and its answer parts. Check it out. Answer. I'm pointing to where the answers are. So it starts out on E, uses the E flat to D, which is really the major 7th to the flat 7th of E minor. Or you could say it's E flat, right? And then has the lower neighbor tone that leads us up to the 5th. So, upper neighbor, lower neighbor. After the first line, then there's the answer part that comes right down from G, F sharp, E, right? And then that goes to that minor 6, right? And then there's the B, and then they're chromatic down from E in triplets. Check it out again. And this time it does B and then the leading tone to finish the phrase. That leads us to the next phrase, which the trumpets take over. So it's the same theme, but up the octave in the altissimo of the trumpet. Now, this is really reminiscent of Cat Anderson or Maynard Ferguson, big band of that era. Cat Anderson played with Duke Ellington. These players would play up in the altissimo. Now, if you take a typical trumpet sample from a sample library, Spitfire, East, West, whatever it is, it'll typically top out at a C. But this is going up to E flat, right? You know, it's hard to find trumpet players that can actually play up in this high register for a big band. I know that because I played in big bands for a long time, and I conducted a big band for 5 years in my 20s. And it's hard to find guys that can play super clean up that high. Now, it's not unprecedented. You do have it in classical music. If you think about the Brandenburg Concerto No. 2, the piccolo trumpet part, where you have lines that are way up in this register. They'll be up there for long periods of time, and it's very difficult to play. But these big band parts are played on a B-flat trumpet up super high and has a really powerful sound when you have a great lead player that can play it. So this has the same answer parts. Ba-da-da. And then, again, next we have the B theme that you all know. Here it is isolated. And then we hit the climax of this section with the James Bond figure that everyone knows. Now that is this. C sharp minor 7 flat 5, but it does it over a B. Okay, so that's another one of those film noir chords, the half diminished chord, that C sharp. After those chord stabs, we go back to the intro theme. It plays through it a couple times, and then it comes up to the ending section. And then that last chord. So let's talk about what's going on there. So it starts out with a, and does the first figure that's E, G, E flat, D. Then it moves up to G and goes G, B, F sharp, F, and then it moves up to B. So the bass note of each moves up and E minor triad. So the next one is B, D, B flat, A, and then the last chord is the... That's all for now. Please subscribe here to my Everything Music YouTube channel. If you're interested in my Beato book, which has all these kind of theories in them, go to my website at www.rickbeato.com. Also, check out my Instagram at rickbeato1, where I'll be posting additional bonus material from these videos. Thanks for watching.